Right now, because the vine, they grow much longer.
At fresh.asiangarden2table.com, you can buy these fresh, long beans. Look at that. It's like a waterfall of long beans. Flower. The flower's quite beautiful. This whole row of long beans. So over here in this raised bed, we've got a whole nother section of Malabar spinach that Regine just strung up from the trellis. You can see the plants coming up the strings all the way up to the top bar of the trellis.
Welcome back to Asian Garden to Table. Today I'm going to show you how I tie my string and how my string system work. So let's start it. So this section, I have some sweet potato shoots. They are ready to climb vines, and I'm going to direct them on the trellis. I know a lot of people, they don't really let sweet potato climbing on trellis, but for leafy green purpose, I find out that it's very convenient and also very nice and neat and organized when you direct the sweet potato shoot on trellis. So today I'm going to show you, use this example to show you how I do my string system. I like to keep the vegetable that in a straight line. It just make the trellis look really nice. So I need a line across the whole garden to be a straight line.
To hold the bottom edge of the twine?
This line will not hold the weight. It just guide the trellis, the plant, to make them look like a straight line, to make them look very organized. Now let's go. So this is the string that I pre-cut to the length I want on the trellis. The length of the twine should be from the top of trellis to be able to reach your plant. So you will adjust the length according to the height of the trellis. And the top bar, I use a slide knot, just tighten it up. For sweet potato, I do 2 string in 1 foot.
So each string is about 6 inches apart.
Mm-hmm. To have the string pre-cut, it makes me easier to put the string up without getting up and down to cut the string. Yes.
Right, so you pre-cut the strings and you bundle them up so that you have a handful of them when you start doing this.
Yes.
So you don't have to do a lot of up-downs.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another reason why the having this tall sidewalls on the raised bed is convenient, because it makes it easy for you to climb up and hang the strings on the trellis. It's an easy reach from the side of the raised bed.
Tie the bottom, a single knot, to the string that cross the raised bed, just to hold it in place.
It just helps to keep the strings from getting tangled with each other and lets the plants grow straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Also keeps the plants from blowing around too much.
It will not that much.
Well, when they're first growing up, right? So the 6 big raised beds that we built are oriented from east to west, so that as the sun rises and sets, all of the plants in the raised bed get a pretty equal amount of sunlight. The plants that are growing up on the trellis on the sides don't block the light for the plants that are growing in the middle. So as the sun passes overhead, all of the plants are able to get sun. The beds that are positioned in the other orientation from north to south, if you have them trellised on both sides like this, what'll happen is during the day, the one side will block the sun in the morning, and the other side will block the sun in the afternoon, and the plants in the middle won't get as much sun. You may want to do that for growing certain vegetables in the middle, vegetables that don't like to have so much sunlight, many leafy greens that don't need as much sunlight, that need to be in a little cooler area. You can do that, trellis the sides to provide some shading for the plants in the middle. So for vines that don't have the tentacles for grabbing onto stuff, like the sweet potato here, how do you make sure that it grows up the twine?
Twist them together. Is that the right word?
Yeah. So you have
Tangle together.
Do you have to come back and do that very often?
Yeah, once a while, because they don't know how to get on the string either. They don't know how to hold on to the twine. Right. So you could do this, check this every 2-3 days.
They're not a natural climbing type vine. They're a spreading type vine. But we don't want them to spread, we want them to climb.
Mm-hmm.
Does climbing make them grow better?
Yeah.
They stay cleaner anyway, right?
They're cleaner and also save a lot of space.
Yeah, I don't have to spend as much time washing them out. They're growing along the ground, more likely to have bugs and dirt in the leaves. So putting them up in the air makes them cleaner, easier to maintain, and easier to prepare for your meal.
Even though they climb on the trellis, we still keep some root underneath. I mean that I don't pull it off the ground completely. I let part of the stem lay on the ground so it will grow more root. It will help it to absorb more nutrients. It's important because for sweet potatoes, it needs that extra root to take up nutrients. So see, even though I tie them up, but I don't pull the vines off the ground.
So as these vines spread out, the nodes that are along the vine will sprout roots and go into the soil, right?
Yeah. Actually, besides the vines on the trellis will produce a lot of young shoots, is also the area close to the ground. They will also continue to grow new shoots. So you can basically harvest from all the way to the ground and all the way to the top of the trellis. It's really easier to manage the vines when they are on trellis. Easier to harvest.
Easier to manage the vines on the twine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since the sweet potato is not a natural climber, and it doesn't have these tentacles to hold on to things, it relies completely on the string to hold it up?
Yes.
Until it reaches the top of the trellis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will these vines reach all the way up to the top of the 7-foot trellis?
Yes. They will go as far as you want it to go. Sweet potato shoots is also one of the very popular leafy green in summertime that will grow very well in humid and hot weather. In Florida, there's not a lot of green leafy green can grow well in summertime, But sweet potato shoots is very easy to grow, very productive. The quality is very good during summertime. It's the must-have leafy green in summer for tropical area.
So with the sweet potato, how many vines do you put on each string or twine?
How many?
Yeah.
Usually I put 2. Sometimes I will put 3. I will not put more than 3. If you put too many, it's too crowded. It will not grow well anyway. Okay, so I just finished tying up the sweet potato shoot onto the twine. Right now the sweet potato shoots are not very long yet. I try to tie up as many as I can. So in about 2 or 3 days, when they adjust their growing position, they will look more upright. At that time, I will come back and try to tangle them up together further. Let me show you the sweet potato shoot I tied up 2 days ago.
I'm following you, honey.
So this is the sweet potato shoots. I tied them up about 2 days ago. See, right now the plants all know that to grow upright because it has something to hold on to. So the plants grow actually much taller. They are the same time when I transplant them in the soil. But because of this vine here, they are on the twine, on the trellis, so they get more sun and they grow much faster and nicer over here. Right now, because the vine, they grow much longer, so you see that they start to grow away from the twine. So we need to come back and put them together again. Make sure they always grow with the twine. You don't have to do this too frequently, about 3-4 days or 2 or 3 days, depends. Whenever you walk by, you see that they need to tangle together, then just do it. So this is all for today's video. I hope this is useful for you, and I know that a lot of you request to show more detail about how we direct the vine, how we maintain the plants on the trellis. So this is one of the video about the sweet potatoes.
And don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. And visit AsianGardenToTable.com for all your vegetable seed, cooking wok, and utensil needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.